Hello everyone, this is Shindigs with the Collegiate Star League for another take, unfortunately, of the CSL Weekly update. Forgot something in the last recording, so hopefully we're going to make it up in this second recording here. I'm just going to bring you the happenings in the CSL along with some school highlights. So let's just dive in right into the general announcements, and then we're going to end off with what matches to look forward to this weekend. So first of all, a very special shout out to our sponsors at twitch.tv. And we're going to feature a little hiring ad on our website next week, but just wanted to get it out there that they are looking for new hires, new talented engineers, new talented anybody's to work at their organization, and they are so helpful to the esports scene and to Collegiate Star League and the college scene and esports scene in general. Um, they just do so much to try to build the infrastructure to get competitive gaming out there. So if you want a really fun, awesome place to work and also build like really awesome technical coding, Gosu micro skills, and whatnot. Whatever you can think of, Twitch TV will probably help you out and help you learn. So go ahead and just shoot your resume their way. If you're a really talented programmer or anything like that, they could certainly use you and they will treat you kindly. They have a long list of awesome benefits, which include Street Fighter 4 tournaments and massages. So really sounds like a really awesome place to work. Another special shout out to Twitch TV as well, because we are recording on Twitch TV right now. But why I love using Twitch TV is because right when I'm done, I'm gonna edit this, and I'm just gonna upload it straight to YouTube, and I'm probably gonna go to bed and not worry about my bandwidth or if it's gonna upload properly, because Twitch.tv takes care of all of that for me. So I just really love that part of the service. I just wanna put that out there, and casters probably really love it as well, as they can just upload their live cast directly to YouTube once they're done. So if you aren't using Twitch.tv, you're a newbie, man. Like, get on this stuff. This is so awesome. You gotta use it. Alright, so moving on to the next announcement. Be sure to send games to cstarleague@gmail.com, our Facebook or Twitter, to be featured. We want to highlight your schools. We want to highlight what players are the best. We want to show competitive teams and the rest of the esports scene that we have a lot of talent in our league. So be sure to let us know who to feature. And trust me, it will be well worth your while, as I will explain later on this cast. So just go ahead and let us know what games are to be featured. Another reason why you should do that is if your games aren't being casted and you need a caster at your school, but no one really knows how to stream, or no one really wants to cast at your school, or no one's taking the initiative to cast, we have a huge pool of community casters who will do it for you. We make the update on our CSL TV post on our website, www.cstarleague.com, and you can just look for a listing of casters who are looking for games to cast this weekend, and you can check out their VODs, evaluate them, and just pick out the best caster who you think will do your school justice. So post the games that need to be casted on CSL TV, and casters who want to cast games this weekend for the CSL, just put your information out there and have people contact you, or contact people who need their games casted, and let's just get a network going of casters and coordinators so we can get as much coverage of the CSL every week as possible. The other thing is, if you're a caster looking to cast for the CSL, like, just go do it, man. Like, our replays are freely available on our website. Go ahead and just cast them. Just attribute it to the CSL. Shout out to our sponsors once in a while and submit it to the CSL TV archives so we can share it with everyone else. Just be sure you attribute it to where you got the games and where the talent is. And just go and do it, man. That's all we need. Alright, the next thing we got to cover right now is this Saturday we have the Collegiate Star League of Legends Prime casting show. And then we're just going to try out a number of casters for our upcoming League of Legends tournament. It's going to be all through LoL replays, because I think that's the only way you can do it right now. Thanks to Nick So for organizing all our League of Legends stuff. Hope he feels better. And thanks to Johnny Sai for this awesome banner. But go to twitch.c/starleague this weekend from 1 to 6 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, and just check out all these awesome casters who are lined up. You may have not heard of them, but I assure you, like, a lot of these guys are actually really, really awesome, especially Frodan. Shout out to Frodan and Digimwombat, because if I don't shout out to Digimwombat, he's just going to give me sass on Twitter, so shout outs to both those guys. Alright, so check it out. If you want to cast for LOL, just send an email, I think, to lol@cstarleague.com, and Nick So should take care of that appropriately. Alright, so, and also check out the LOL tournament that's coming up as well, and lol.cstarleague.com for anything League of Legends and Collegiate Star League related. Special thanks to Travis from State of the League for having me on this week to plug our little League of Legends stuff. Alright, So the next thing coming up here to talk about is regional lands. They are happening, and they are being planned, and they're going to be awesome. More details later. Alright, the next thing to talk about is the NASL tickets. Again, you are getting free tickets to the NASL if you email cstarleague@gmail.com and leave your .edu address. Should be an awesome time there. And, yeah, man, just go ahead and email cstarleague@gmail.com for your tickets and check the details on teamliquid.net. They just posted all the details about their finals, hotel rates, and I don't think the schedule just yet, but there's a lot of awesome things planned for the League of Legends finals, or not the NASL finals, excuse me. So go ahead and check that out. It's going to be in Ontario, California from December 2 to 4th, and it's right before my finals. I'm sure it's right before a lot of UC schools' finals. So all I gotta say is esports. Alright, and the last thing to talk about, I think in terms of general announcements, is we have a 2-hour bug delay. What that means is if you see your match time is 2 hours ahead of what you're used to, then it's a bug. Whoop, excuse me. Sorry about that. It's 2 hours ahead of what you're used to, then it's a bug. You're playing at your regular time is all I'm trying to say. Excuse me for that slip up there. You will be playing all your matches at your regularly scheduled times. If the time did change this week, I believe it's all for the Saturday and Sunday games. It's a bug. We're going to try to get it fixed as soon as possible. But work it out. Make sure the other coordinator knows. Make sure you and the rest of your team know so you don't show up at two completely different times. It is the same time you've been consistently playing every week. But it is daylight savings this weekend, so I think that's what's causing a bug in the system. It's daylight savings, but be sure you're playing at the same time, otherwise it's going to get really hairy. Excuse me. So be sure to contact the other coordinator and work it out with them and make sure everything's a-okay. As always, you can play later or earlier than your match scheduled time, but just make sure the other coordinator agrees as well. And, oh, no, the actual final general announcement, which is the most exciting of all the general announcements, I'm so happy to announce this, is that IPL TV will start featuring the Collegiate Star League games on the stream every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. We're going to select the best games from each week, send it over to IPL TV, and have our good friends over there cast it on the stream to get the word out on how talented our players are in the league. Because what we both want to do is really facilitate the transition between, playing for your CSL team and then maybe, hopefully, playing in a professional team if that's what you choose your career to be. So we really want to help bridge the gap between, scholar to nerd baller, essentially. So just, again, that's why you should send in your games, send in all your top players, send in who you want to be featured, and we will definitely send it over to IPL. We'll definitely feature it on our website. We're just going to get the word out on the most talented players in our league so they get the recognition that they deserve. Also the most talented schools in our leagues as well. Alright, so we're going to jump in right now to our featured games of the week, and I'm really excited about this week's featured games especially, because we have UC Davis versus Cal UC Berkeley, and they're going to be playing this game live at the UC Davis Quarterly LAN. Let me see if I can pull up the news post here on our website. Alright, here we go. So they're going to be playing this game live, like face-to-face live against one another, like Pro League Brood War style face-to-face live, without the booths, of course, but probably the same awesome everything else. And this is going to be cool because both of them are not pulling any punches. Cal is ranked number 1 in all of CSL right now. That means they are the top ranking, better than everyone's school. They can literally say, we are better than all the other schools in CSL. We have the best team and possibly the best players as well, but all the players are kind of scattered everywhere. And they're going to be playing against UC Davis, who is number 3 in the league. And you can see in this lineup here, this is going to be completely epic because Davis is going to, field their star player, essentially, Vial Spanicioa, who is a freshman at UC Davis this year. And you actually see a lot of common UC Davis names here, as well as TBZ, who is their Terran ace, who's actually exceptionally good. RKO and Speece are like their 2v2 specialist team. These guys practice 2v2 together all the time. They're like so good at it. And Ruxin is actually another Grandmaster Zurich who has more points than Spinishua, but that the ladder rankings are, kind of variable when you get to the top level. But I mean, he's probably super, super good as well. So UC Davis, they actually have a really good chance of taking down UC Berkeley right now because UC Berkeley, of course, they're fielding their best player, VP Suppi, against Val Spinishua. Then they got Fan, and then they have, a really exceptionally good 2v2 team against UC Davis's exceptionally 2v2 team, Hellfire and Pika. And then Eminem Dale is going to try to ZVZ snipe Ruxin. So UC Berkeley is probably preparing some crazy builds against UC Davis because I'm pretty sure they know they have a really good chance of losing their number one spot not only in their division but also in the CSL. So both schools need to come completely prepared for this match. And like I said, Cal is number one in their division and in the CSL. Davis is actually number 3 in the CSL and number 2 in their division right behind UC Berkeley. So it's going to be an absolutely epic match. We're going to have our casters Camping Carl, Jin Sulator from RPI, and maybe Alphaford from UC Davis casting, depending on what they work out between one another. But we're going to try to get, some webcams set up at the LAN that they're going to be playing it at. It's going to be absolutely sick Baller Gosu, as many awesome esports adjectives you can fit in there. Just check it out this weekend. It's going to be Saturday, I believe. It says 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern time. All right, and the next thing we're going to cover right now is the United States Air Force Academy versus the United States Naval Academy. There's no graphic right now because the draws haven't been released yet, but this is really awesome because we actually have military service academies playing in the CSL, and this is so cool to see, these people showing their passion for gaming while they're at these service academies. And the other awesome thing about this is they actually have an athletic rivalry, an athletic rivalry that is behind, all this StarCraft rivalry. They have something called the Commander-in-Chief Cup, which is something between the Military Academy, the Naval Academy, and the Air Force Academy. They all play together, like in real sports, I believe, football primarily, to earn this something called the Commander-in-Chief Cup, and it essentially is crowned to the best athletic service academy. So between these two schools, the Air Force Academy versus the Naval Academy, I believe the Air Force Academy has the upper hand here. They've won more games during the season, and they have a better Masters lineup. But the Naval Academy has Marines, like literal Marines, so Marines are pretty good. My money's actually going to be on the Naval Academy because Marines are pretty OP. But check out this game. It's going to be on Sunday, casted at 12 p.m. Pacific, I believe, unless the time changes. But we'll let you guys know. We'll update our Twitter and everything like that. It's going to be casted by Camp and Carl and a to-be-announced co-caster. It's still talking to them about that. All right, and also be sure to read up on the Commander-in-Chief Cup. We put a Wikipedia link on our website, and support these service academies because we really do appreciate them playing in our league. And that is going to do it for our featured games this weekend. Let's move on to the community shoutouts. So I just took these community shoutouts from our Facebook page, and as you can see, that's what's been going on through the entire weekly update video here. Is that we have a little match ticker going on the bottom. So this is actually on the front page on our website. Just go ahead and check it out. Shoutouts to our web dev Casper, aka Yenta, for making this awesome little match ticker going on here. See if you can find your school, upcoming games, and past results. All right, so let's do shoutouts to the schools right now. First school to be outed is RIT, the number 2 best school in all of CSL, or excuse me, just the second best school at CSL, right behind UC Berkeley. And again, these guys are undefeated in their league. And let's look at their win rates here. They're all 3-0 or 3-1. Like, none of these games have gone to ace. These guys are so good about not dropping any games whenever possible. These guys just want to win. I mean, like, even when they go against schools they know they're going to beat, they just want to win. They feel their best players. They just want to win every week and show that they're the best. All right, and that's something that's kind of really hard to talk about because how do you talk about a school that's been good consistently? RIT's been good Season 5, they've been good Season 4, and they're just going to get better and better, I can see, as each season goes on. And they are definitely in the running for just a really, really high finish in Season 5, if not a championship win. So look out for the RIT Tigers. They are coming to destroy everyone. All right, so thanks to Andrew Sternglass for that shout out. Next shout out we're gonna do is to the USC Trojans, or the club, or the StarCraft 2 team at USC, and these guys again. These guys are all tearing it up in Season 5. They're still undefeated in their division, and they are ranked 11. This is actually a lot better than they've been doing in Season 4. And we did give them a shout out last week, but the reason why we're giving them a shout out this week is because they played Harvey Mudd College last weekend, and why this match is so significant is for number one, Harvey Mudd fielded QXC, who actually took his game. That was the one win for Harvey Mudd. Harvey Mudd did field QXC, but both these schools, Day 9 attended Harvey Mudd for undergraduate, did his math undergrad there, and published an undergrad thesis paper because he's so good at everything he does in life, and then did his master's at the University of Southern California and got his master's of fine arts in interactive media. How do I know this? It's because I'm a crazy fan. But this is really cool to kind of see like a Day 9 team kill here. But shout outs to both schools for housing and creating one of the sickest nerd ballers ever to grace the StarCraft 2 scene, and hopefully both of them have a really great rest of the season. Okay, so next shout out we're going to give to is to the University of Arizona, and what they did was upset the university, or the Cal State University Sacramento, because Cal State Sacramento was originally undefeated in the division. But the University of Arizona, they're not, doing absolutely stellar in their division, but they still took a game. They still took an entire match off like a top-ranking school. So this is just kind of like a little warning to all you top schools out there who think you can just sit back and just kind of field some not so good players, try to give other schools a chance. If you don't want to win, or not, if obviously people want to win, if you don't go into each match thinking I want to win this 100%. Games like this will happen, and they can be very upsetting. And not to take any credit away from the University of Arizona, because the way our format is in the CSL, we can have really crazy upsets happen. So we really definitely try to reward the best prep school in each case. So thanks to Alexander Vega for this little tidbit on the University of Arizona. Alright, the last things we have to talk about here is the University of Utah versus Brigham Young University. This is called the Holy War because both schools are in Utah, and that is Mormon country. And this is not, like, I'm not making this up. Like, it is literally called the Holy War. It's going to be really cool to see how this game plays out. The University of Utah is actually, like, #1 in their division. Brigham University is not #1 in their division, but it's always really cool to see in-state rivals duke it out in StarCraft 2. That's going to be this weekend, and we're going to see if University of Utah can take this game 3-0, and that would solidify them as #1 in their division, in Raven Division, that is. So, sorry I don't have the guy's name who shouted that out, but thank you very much. We will try to feature as many games as possible. Alright, Samsu brings us UMBC, University of Maryland, Baltimore County, beats University of Maryland, College Park. This is a revenge win for UMBC, as UMCP defeated them in Season 4, but now UMBC has gotten their revenge this season. So really cool, really happy for UMBC. Sorry to UMCP, but it's really cool to see in-state rivals battle out like this. I believe both these schools are both highly ranked in their division, first and third. I forgot which one is first and third. If I had to guess, it is... Oh, I can just look it up right now. What am I doing? I believe it's Baltimore County who is first, and I am correct. It is Baltimore County that is first. College Park, that is third. Again, we gave these schools shoutouts last week, so if you want to see more diverse schools getting shoutouts each week, let us know. Like, leave a message on our Facebook or our webpage. And also, well, let's just give a random shout out to New York University because they were actually 6-0. I believe when they played against New York University versus New York Poly, NYU Poly, they actually had like a girl v girl match. So we actually had some like female competition going on in the CSL. I mean, we have to admit StarCraft 2 is kind of a male-dominated sport, but it's good to see both X chromosomes being represented here. Let's pull up this match page right now. Yep, we have Kimberly Chen versus Sharon Shin, and in the first game. So, I mean, check out that game. This is kind of like some females getting represented in CSL, which is always good to see. Alright, so that was just kind of a random shout out I threw out there. wasn't really planned. Anyway, so the next thing we're gotta talk about is San Diego State University upsets UCSD 3-2. And this is really unfortunate for UCSD because UCSD would usually come out on top on a match like this, but it looks like they just kind of fell short in the ace match and lost. So sorry to my friends at UCSD, but congrats to San Diego State University for beating their in-state rivals. Victories like this always feel extra special when you actually have an athletic rivalry going on behind it, or just an in-state rivalry going on behind it. So congrats to those guys, and hopefully they continue keeping up that momentum in the season. Alright, so that does it for school shoutouts, and if you want to hear your school shouted out, even if you feel like your school's not doing that great, we want to feature your school. If you have like a really cool StarCraft activity going on at your school, like a meeting or a LAN, we'd be happy to feature it on our website. Just leave it on our events radar or leave it on our Facebook. Again, your school doesn't even have to be like the top ranking school in CSL. We want to give you a shout out because we want to feature as many schools as possible in the CSL, because all you guys are absolutely amazing for playing in the league, and just essentially spreading the word of esports through your collegiate campuses. So with that, final shout out to our sponsors, Twitch TV, like I said at the beginning of the cast, total absolute ballers. So happy they actually sponsored Team Liquid, because that's absolutely huge. You know, I'm a big TL fanboy and I'm a big Twitch TV fanboy, so seeing both of them come together is absolutely amazing. This is like the best partnership in esports ever, aside from Twitch TV and CSL and TT Esports and CSL. But really big props to those guys for picking that sponsorship up. Also, again, another shout out to our sponsors at TT Esports, especially Travis at TT Esports. I see this guy at so many events, and he's such a nice guy, and he's living the dream, man. That's all I gotta say. He's like managing White Raw. He's like going to all these events, and he's like, oh my god, I'm so tired out. I have to go to a Battlefield 3 launch party next week, and I'm so tired. And I'm like, living the dream, man. So special shout out to Travis from TT Esports for being so cool and helping us out with the CSL. He's a really great guy. Be sure to just thank him for sponsoring the CSL if you ever see him at MLGs or IPLs or NASLs or anything like that. Any live events, just give him a special shout out. And just let TT Esports know you really appreciate their sponsorship. They do a lot for the community. Alright, and finally, just be sure to follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/CStarLeague. Tweet at us at CStarLeague, and follow our Facebook, or like our Facebook, excuse me, facebook.com/Collegiate Star League. It's not CStar League, it's Collegiate Star League. And just leave comments on our wall. We read all of them, obviously. We read all the comments and we read all the tweets. We try to reply to as many as possible, and we want to feature your school. So again, if you have a caster who's casting your games, submit them to CSL TV. If you want to see your school on IPL TV, that's going to be featured every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. Send us an email, leave it on our Facebook. If you just want to see a shout out on this video news update, let us know. We want to feature as many schools as possible. Alright, and one last thing is, if you're interested in helping us out here at the CSL, go ahead and send us like a little application, like kind of a little resume showing what your talents are. But really the best way to do it is just go do something for your school, like cast their games, make some awesome graphics, make posts on Team Liquid, make posts on Reddit, because really the whole point is just to go and just do it. Take your own initiative and do it, because that's honestly how like 99% of people make amazing content. They just go ahead and do it themselves, and if it's not that great, well, what's the worst that can happen? Doesn't it show up on the front page of Reddit? Well, do you really want to be on the front page of like a witch hunt website or something? Okay, now that I said that, I'm totally going to get owned, but I mean, the worst thing that can happen is it's not featured on the front page of Reddit, which are awesome. Please don't kill me. I love you, Chris, who's a moderator there, so please don't kill me. And it's just not going to get noticed. So, I mean, there's no harm in just making awesome StarCraft 2 content, not just for the CSL, but just for StarCraft 2 in general. If you do something, the worst that can happen is it doesn't get noticed and nothing changes anyway. The only thing that can happen for making StarCraft 2 content is you do get noticed. So there's actually no downside to it at all, aside from losing a bit of time. So that's all I gotta say. All we want to do is just feature as many schools as possible, see all your content, and just, you know, spread the word of the CSL, because it's a really kick-ass league. So until next week, guys, that's gonna be all. So